Hey y'all, what's up? I'm going to keep it brief tonight. I just got done watching Smackdown in the Hall of Fame. I'm exhausted. I've only slept for 3.5, maybe 4 hours. I don't even recall all of Smackdown, so if I don't, forgive me. And this probably won't get posted till tomorrow, which normally it does because it takes a while. Oh, my hair. So my son has a championship game today. The same thing that happened to Uconn happened to my son. They were up, or they were like neck and neck with the other team. First of all, the ref delays his call, so something could happen, like a kid get fouled, and then they'll be playing, and then 30 seconds later he blowing his whistle, and he's making a call from like back then, and I'm like, somebody's like, what's wrong with Nick? And I said, he's delayed. And then I thought it was just me. And one of the parents was like, it seems like he's trying to figure out what call to make. And then I looked at him and I was like, he is. I said, because he blew the whistle. And one time he blew the whistle legit. Blew the whistle. And then was doing like this, like he forgot why he blew the whistle. And I was like, so my son and them ended up losing by 7. And I went to go pick up the pizza, came home. Sorry, y'all. Came home. KO was out in the ring. Yeah, KO was out in the ring. And Randy came out. Now I tell y'all, I love the graphics. I love the production. The thing caught me off guard again because when I was tweeting, I looked up the vipers in my face, which I cannot. It alarms me every time. Yeah, so they go out and they talk, stuff like that. I don't know who did the video and production, but you did it too late. I meant you did it too early. That's what I meant. You did it like 10 seconds early. So KO and what's the name was talking. They said a scale of 1 to 11, something. He was in the middle of talking. They cut the video on. But then it's not even the fact that it does, because sometimes it does that. It was the fact that the sound of the way it came in all like super loud, or like the sound, it didn't sound right. And me being in the production booth at church, so the sound engineer's up there, videographer's up there. I'm basically the graphics manager. I do the words and the graphics and all of that, videos and stuff on the screen, and for people to see online. But when you're with the sound, because we're like, okay, we're in the back and we're up, then like the sanctuary stuff is at the bottom. The guy that tried to teach me sound, which I know, I just don't do it because they have enough people. He was like, when you learn this or when you're up here, he was like, you will never hear stuff the same again. And I thought he was BSing me. And he was right. Like, even the littlest things. And I'd be like, y'all don't, it's not too loud. Or I'd be like, it's loud. And I already have sensitive hearing and smelling. The smelling became more sensitive after I had my child. That stuck with me after pregnancy. But the hearing is sensitive because I can't see that well. And you know, normally they say when one of your senses is weakened, it makes the other one stronger. My hearing is really good. Like, my son thinks he'll do something. I'm like, you know I can still hear you, right? Or like, my sister and them be like, you smell such. You making stuff up. And then they'll smell it like 2 minutes later. And I was like, I've been smelling that the whole time. So my sister come in and be like, you got the canine nose. So what does it smell like in here? But it's true. So, but yeah, the sound was off. Like the video cutting into Logan. So then they go out into the street, you know, in the golf court. Theory and Waller tries to come out after them. They come out, excuse me. They come out late. I think Corey was like, they came out late. Did that stop the process or whatever? And who was the process? And like bystanders were there. Like, I know that's one of the main places that they go when they go down the steps. They go down those. I'm like, it's the man. Before they cut off the commercial, it was like he was trying to go to the bathroom or something because he was going up the steps and they were right behind him. And when they came back, they showed KO and Randy on the golf court. I was like, first of all, we in Philly, okay? I know it's below freezing there or it's close, okay? KO and Randy, y'all out there with no jackets on. But then I had to think, I'm like, Randy from St. Louis, KO's from Canada, so this is probably like a normal spring day for them. Like, when you live in cold for so long, like certain places it's cold 8 months out the year, when you get a glimpse of 50, they be wearing shorts. Like, my brother got acclimated to Kansas when he was stationed there in Junction City, and my mom came to visit her, and she's got so used to Florida. Anything under 70, she's freezing. But she went to go visit them, and she was like, it's 50-something degrees, and they got on shorts. And then when I lived in Florida, the lady in my neighborhood was like, it's these guys in the pool, it's 50-something degrees outside, and they in the pool, it's freezing. And she was like, but they're from Boston. I'm like, because it's cold, it's always cold in Boston. Like, people wear shorts. It depends on what region you live in. Anyway, so then after that, all that goes, Theory and Waller go to the stadium. I didn't know Philly had it set up like that. Like, you could literally go to, like, the 76ers and the Eagles stadium is in the same parking lot, basically. I never knew that. And I got family in Philly. I used to visit Philly, stuff like that. But I've never been to a game, so I didn't know that. Like, Philly's one of the first places that I went to that had the two bridge like that, I think. Yeah. Like, some people were above and some people below, like, riding on the bridge. Some of the places I used to eat at, I closed, like Steak and Cheese. We used to go to Joe's. We used to go to Vincent's. My grand was from West Philly. Grew up and stuff there. And then she said at one point, I think she might have babysat Will Smith. Like, she was there for a while. Like, she was one of the only original people there. West Philly is still like one of the nicest areas in Philly, unless you live outside of the suburbs, because Philly is one of the murder capitals of the country, they said. Like, the first, what I know it was last year, but I don't know about this year, the first like 14 days of the year, like 20 people were murdered. I was like, what are y'all doing? My cousins and them still live there. They live in South Philly. And it was like, it's so gentrified, but it's also like, the kids ain't got nothing to do, so they just be stealing cars. And I was like, that's crazy, because me growing up from the DC area, they used to do that, but that was like 15 years ago. So it was like kids younger than me. So I was in my, like, I was like 20, 21. Kids younger than me stealing cars, and it was so bad that they used to steal cars from like the old people's homes, and then from the police. Like, we ain't had no tact. Anyways, yeah, like the King of Prussia Mall, I know it's gonna be packed, stuff like that. Like, stuff like this is good for the city. Like, Wrestlemania is good for the city. Wrestlemania is good for smaller and independent wrestling promotions, because they go there this weekend, and they get more eyes on their talent. They also get more people, which, you know, because you'll be like, oh, I'm not going to Smackdown today, so maybe I'll go to, what was it, Stargate? Ring of Honor? I think it was Ring of Honor tonight. And then Thursday it was GCW. And it was like, maybe I'll go there and just go because it's cheaper. We need something else to do. Or, so now, like, if I was in Philly, I would have went to see Shayna wrestle. Like, I would want to see that. I didn't even know Ring of Honor was going to be there, which I should have known, because last year at LA Wrestlemania, like, half of AEW was there, so that makes sense. But surprisingly, I thought MLW was gonna be there because they have a lot of their matches in Philly. They ain't got no match this week. Like, I think NWA do. TNA does their own thing, but it's great for them, and it's great for stuff like that. Cause like, I would have went to stuff like that to GCW, and I would have saw AJ Francis, aka Top Dollar, and then I would have saw like Shane and stuff like that. But it would have gave me being able to see new talent, to become fans of new people. One of the things I love watching is behind the scene documentaries. I'm very much into the behind the scenes stuff, and I think that's why I love production. So sorry, I'm going on a tangent and rant. Growing up, I always like, when I was working, I would like to learn everything from the bottom up. Not knowing that was steps to becoming a trainer. I ended up becoming a trainer and manager at various places, or recruiter and stuff like that. Ended up being in HR. That was led me to HR, but I wanted to learn everything because I wanted to get more hours. So I'm like, okay, like in college, if I worked at Taco Bell or something, if I'm a cashier, but you have cashiers, but I need more hours, then I'm going to try to make tacos. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I end up eventually, and I was like that way. And then when I feel like I'm not having fun where I work at, or I can't grow anymore, one or the other or both, it's time for me to move on. So, but it lets me see the inner workings of everything. And I love that about production, and behind the scenes stuff. Like, I love seeing behind the scenes documentaries and all that. Saw the Roman Reigns one. Haven't seen the Bray Wyatt one. Just started rewatching wrestling 2 years ago. I was not aware of him until his match with LA Knight. So I don't know the entire history and stuff, except for the stuff I watch on YouTube. But I'm such an empath that I will probably start crying if someone on that thing starts crying. I'm not even going to hold you. Like, when Roman was talking about his brother, and then his sister was talking about his brother, and how, like, they lost his brother, and, like, he had to pause, right, because he got choked up. Like, I immediately start crying. And then at the end, when Jimmy was like, that's family, start, like, I was like, oh, here come the waterworks. Like, I can't. I am a crier. And I never used to be as bad. I don't know if it's hormone changes. I don't know if it's with age. Never used to be this bad. Like, I'm one of those people that cry when other people, so when I saw people crying in movies, or like happy parts in movies, that was it. And most of the time I can internalize it. But now, like, if I'm super happy, I'm crying. Or super happy for someone, it's normally for someone else, I'm crying. If they're going through something and I can see them crying on their face, I immediately start crying. Like, a colleague of mine's mother passed away. I heard about it when I got to work. I was like, I had to stop myself because I was going to start crying. And I came home and thought about it because I was going to call her. But I was like, she's going through a lot. I can't call her. I'm going to start bawling. And I'm like, it's not about me. So I just sent her a text and was like, hey, I'm thinking about you, loving you, praying for you, to send her. And then when I got it together to talk to her, I called her. But I was like, I can't. That was a whole tangent. I'm mad about the women's bracket. Like, it should have been Uconn versus USC. I'm not even going to get into that. They want Caitlyn to get a ring before she graduates so bad. Like, stuff like that be pissing me the hell off, because they did that junk with Peyton Manning. Like, Russell should have got that ring that year, and y'all know it. Y'all wanted him to go out and have 2 rings, because Eli had 2 rings. He could have went out with 1 ring. Like, stuff like that be pissing me off. brought back memories. Anyways, so and I know I'm tired because I have my sleep voice because I just been sitting here watching. Like I'm not even. I need to drink something. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so they're on there. We can't find him. Da, 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 da. They show Logan coming back. Then they show Randy and KO meeting him from underneath the ring. And I'm like, not unless they did this on commercial. When the hell did they get back? Like, did they did they spin the block? You know what I'm saying? And because I'm like, I was confused. And then he got stunned, which was really good. Like he did that. And then he got RKO'd. And I love the fact that so when I first saw him, and I think it was it WrestleMania? No, I didn't watch WrestleMania. I did watch WrestleMania last year. What did I see before that of Logan? Was he at SummerSlam 2022? Yeah, I saw him. I was like, that is good match. Then I think I saw him at Night of Champions, right? With Roman. And it was like, oh, he's part-time and I was looking him up because I had no clue who he was. Okay. I've heard of his brother and in the fights, but I had no clue of who either of them were. So I looked him up and stuff. It's like he used to be a high school wrestler. He's a internet personality, social media personality. Boom. So I was like, okay. Then he was like, he's part-timer. He only comes to main events. Like he's basically like Roman Reigns without the title. So I was like, okay. So then he's gotten on these matches, and I was like, he's good. And I was like, I'm becoming a fan of his work. And I was like, to me, you can't even say part-time because I was like, he is the best current day. And I was like, I wouldn't even say current day. He is the best outside celebrity that we had, that wrestling has had, that actually looks like a wrestler or looks like he takes his time and learns the craft. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was just me, but I like looked at clips of different clips show up on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, I'm tired. YouTube of like, reels. So I'll start one reel and then they'll just start going. So on my TV. So like different reels, people are fans of him. And I thought it was just me. And these people actually done it. So I know, okay, what I'm saying is not just, I'm just saying, okay? Like, I think Undertaker, I said he was great. Randy, I want to say Triple H. Like I think even Mark Henry and Bubba Dudley or Bully Ray, however you know him, like people. So I was like, okay, great. But he is great, and I always want to know what he's going to do next. I will say, the one at Elimination Chamber was not as like that effect to me as his past ones have been. And I know in part, like, you can't do too much all the time. People get older, people might be injured or tired, and they try to give the best that they can give at that moment. So I get that. So I'm not putting that against him, but it was still great. But I'm just saying, that's one of the matches that I want to see. But they came out, like I said, and then they stunned him, and then it was New Catch Republc versus A-Town Down Under, right? Which I forgot or didn't know that they had a match. And then, so I think Tyler was getting Grayson, and then Grayson ended up hitting Tyler at the end of the ring, and I was like, Tyler getting beat up. So then Pete goes in the thing. I think he does a finger thing with Theory. I think it was Theory, which I love the finger thing. Like, that is my thing. My favorite move. One of my favorite moves in wrestling. Ooh. And then I might have been doing these matches out of turn. This was 5 hours ago. And then I don't even think they finished the match. I think the Judgment Day come out and do what to do. Yeah, okay, so that was like the third thing. Because the next thing I think was Andre the Giant thing. So everyone goes in there. You got to see, because so then it's like Omos, Bronson Reed, Ivar, Otis, and the Sheer. Is that all the big guys? Like all the big guys in the ring. And I was like, ugh. So then my man's Ricochet came out. So my thing was, I wanted Ricochet to win. If he didn't, it was Cedric Alexander for me, or Ivar for me. Like, I love Ivar. He's become such a phenomenal talent since Eric has been injured. And I'm not like suggesting anything with Eric and stuff like that. But you know, sometimes when you have a tag team partner, or you know you have a partner, you work on your craft, yes, but you don't work at it at the best that you can work at it. I guess if I'm gonna say it like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you know you have someone that's gonna have your back that you could fall back on, if that makes sense. Like, the TLC tag team groups all can work by themselves or together. Some of the tag team groups now can't do that. Can't do that. Honestly, I would say the women tag team groups do it better than the men, if I'm going to be 100% honest. Like, because I feel like the men have to get their feet wet or accustomed to being by themselves. Or something has to happen, like when Jimmy got injured and then Jay was like, okay, now what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? Like, but other than that, it's like real heavy reliance. So for Ivar to come out and then be as agile as he is, to me, it's like, I'm amazed. I have no other words. Like, I'm just amazed. Like, so it was him. And then it was funny because Pretty Deadly tried to get Omos out of the ring. So everybody stood and watched in the back. They were like, and I think Akira was on the floor on the other side of the ring like this. So they were trying to each lift up a leg, and I was like, and they just watching him. So then I think Omos eliminates Kit Wilson. So because Kit is eliminated, and Prince eliminates himself, I'm like, oh my God. So then I think Joaquin eliminated Angel. Somebody eliminated Angel. They start laughing. They end up pulling out Joaquin and Cruz. Excuse me. Because they got that beef whole situation. And then like a whole bunch of people get kicked out. And this year got kicked out like literally within a minute of each other. So first Jinder Mahal got kicked out, and then the other two got kicked out. And then Cedric got kicked out. And then I think it was Akira was over there. And I was like, who was he fighting? And I think it was Shanti the Adonis. And I said, I forgot. Like, I forgot about him, sadly, because they did this whole promo thing with him and Cedric, and I was like, and nothing is happening. So if nothing happens after WrestleMania, why give us the promos? You know what I'm saying? Like, And then, oh, my eye. I have something in my eye. Sorry. And then, what? Here. And then with some, so then Kira gets all happy and tries to tear his shirt. It takes a real long time. And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? So, Omos gets taken out, the Creed brothers. That's who it is. He tried to take out the Creed brothers and end up going out himself. And then, but before that, he lifted J.D. McDonough up so high and he slammed. I said, I know that hurt. So when he did that, I thought he was like eliminated. I didn't pay attention to him or what he had going on. And then JD, somehow Ricochet got eliminated by JD and he got back in the ring. And then JD got eliminated. So then after that, when Akira got eliminated, who threw him over? Was it Ivar? Ivar, one of them threw him over the way he fell. So Otis did his thing, did the caterpillar, then he got kicked out. I think Akira got kicked out for that and fell on his neck. The ref had to step on it. I was like, yeah, because that landing was not it. Okay. So then I think it was just, so I was like, well, there go two of my picks. So then it was just Ivar and Ronson. And I was like, I want Ivar to win so bad. Because somebody was like, he's a big man moving like that. I think that's what Corey said. He was like, what? These new age big men. He was like, because big men back in the day didn't move like that. And I was like, right. They only did a couple moves and a choke slam. Like, and Damien's wrestling style matches that. Like, he's very much studied. Like, you could tell he studied like Kane and Undertaker. And then, of course, Judgment Day is like the whole darkness thing. So, it kind of works. But like Ivar he did like a round kick. He does like a cannonball or something like that. He ended up doing a doom saw. And I'm like, what? And then he ended up losing to Bronson. And people are like, Triple H trying to put Bronson over. And I was like, honestly, I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's been a year and some change since he's been back. He won Andrade the title. Even if that's the case, even if he made the call then and was like, hey, we're going to have you win. It didn't seem that way. What is happening? So, yeah, it didn't seem that way to me. So, other people have their own opinion, whatever. It just didn't seem like that. And I was like, if anything, if he was really trying to put him over, he'd have been eliminated. He would have been at one like Royal Rumble, something like that. Like I was like, he lost the Royal Rumble. He lost the qualifying to go to the Elimination Chamber. And he's from Australia. Like, if anything, I would have thought he was going to win that match. Because to me, it made more sense. Then he could go home and see family and stuff and then come back. Like, he didn't even want. So I'm like, I'm happy. So that way they won't be like, oh, well, we hired him and he's an idol. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know how long it's going to take for him to come back or if he's coming back. But I see Ivar holding a title. And I see that if he holds one, it's going to be for a while. Like, if y'all let him wrestle like he's been doing, he going to have something for a while. So then they was listening to matches and stuff like that, you know, the graphics and stuff, and they was talking about the which days is which and the 6-man title thing. So I was like, are they separating them again, or are they making them like one unified title? Because I was confused. And then they had, and I was like, well, the winners are get each title. And I said, oh, they're separating them. I was like, good, because it's been almost about 2 years since they unified them. Okay? Like, the Judgment Day have been holding it down okay. But I'm like, still, it's not the same as when I started watching the Usos at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the difference is the Judgment Day, I feel like, fought for their titles more than KO and Sammy, but still less than the Usos. You know? I'm very much agree with Becky and Seth. Like, if you're going to be a champion, you should always be prepared to be a fighting champion. Like, the only 3 titles that I know, 3 people I know during the past 2 years that fought for their titles at any time and was down to fight for their titles at any time was Bianca, Seth, Becky, and the Usos. Not 3, 4. Like, everyone else, it was, and I know stories and stuff was switching up and stuff with the so-called drama or whatever was going on. That's none of my business, but it just seemed like that. So then, yeah, so he won the whole thing with the Judgment Day and stuff like that. And then they showed the 3 women, the Stormiest Glow, or the Glowiest Storm, the Glowiest Storm. I'll call them BGM, Black Girl Magic. Some people say the big 3. There's only 3 names they get from me, okay? BGM, aka the Stormiest Glow, aka the Glowiest Storm, okay? They looked great when they came out, but then when they came out, it was just Bianca. So I was like, then when Bianca gave, which I love her graphics, love with the kiss and then they turn into butterflies and stuff like that. So and when did Naomi put her jacket? Now I'm thinking about it, because she came out first. They did her song. They do the lights. They say she's, when I'm watching Total Divas, they say she was she'd be the 4th person they shut the lights out for. And she's the first woman I think they shut the lights out for ever. So it was Undertaker, it was Bray Wyatt, it was her, and who was the 4th person? I want to say Kane. No, is it Chris Jericho? Because then the lights go black, and then they did his countdown. Was it him? Right? I can't remember. But now I think Jey, hers is like kind of dark before she came out. And they did her lights, so she'll be number 2. But yeah, so they came out. She tossed her jacket. So I was like, I'll be thinking about random stuff like that. And then Bianca gave her hat. So I'm like, oh, so we giving ode to Cowgirl Carter, okay? Because that's all I could think about. Then they said what they said, you know what I'm saying? Jey came out. Jey looked phenomenal. All 3 of them looked phenomenal. Somebody was like, Trinity's thing is poking. I was like, it's always poking. Okay? Like, if you count women in WWE with about that, like that thing is thing, it's her, Bianca, Liv got her, Pam, at Bailey, and Rhea. Like, I don't know about nobody else. I'm trying to think. I don't. But yeah. So they came out, and then she came out and did this thing. I said, "Nigga, is that snow or glitter?" And someone was like, and I was like, "She looks phenomenal." I was like, "She could be in a Western and play a sheriff." And somebody said, "I don't give a what it is to stop playing to give us a match wear." I'm like, y'all mad. Y'all act like I work for WWE, okay? I'm like, it's a build-up. And if I did, I don't know. I'll probably change 1 or 2 things, to be honest with you. Because when they cut to like the Bailey showing EO and stuff like that, and I was like, everybody's stories has them developed, but theirs. But then the other side of me just thought about it, was like, hey, maybe they didn't have to develop because we watched it live basically every week for 2 years. And I was like, if they're going with that concept, then yeah, we don't need too much. But you know what I'm saying? But if they're not, we needed You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, where do you go from there after they get betrayed? But nothing but it's on site. Like, if you think in the real world, if you get betrayed to the point when y'all fight, y'all looking for each other to fight, we not coming together. Oh, you did like promos like that. No, I'm about to come whoop yours. Okay, like that makes sense. Now I'm thinking about it, but and also I was like, okay, SmackDown. The fact that after 10 o'clock we had to go to Peacock for this Hall of Fame, which I ain't mad at. Between Royal Rumble and SmackDown, Royal Rumble WrestleMania. I've been saying that SmackDown needs to be 2.5 to 3 hours. Why come y'all can't get done with television on Fox and then be like, all right, for the last 30 minutes we're gonna do Peacock? Like, why y'all can't do that? Y'all already got a contract with them. Y'all might as well. The hell is a contract like you're only doing this amount of shows? You have to let them know, like 15 shows, or is a contract with you got a contract with WWE anytime they want to record? Because if it's the latter, y'all should have been doing that. Like, certain people's promos got cut because there's so much going on in this jam pack. People's matches got shortened up, got cut with the extra 30 minutes. You ain't got to do that. Like, do something, okay? So then after that, yeah, they point to the sign, and I was like, I was about to start crying again, because I was like, it's just 3 women. They're about my age. I'm like, everybody can see people like especially black girls can see themselves in one of these girls. Like, and then they're not all the same complexion. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on where you grew up, y'all could be called light skin or yellow. And then Jey will be a red bone, and then Trinity would be chocolate, which I envy chocolate people. Like, my sisters and my mama, I envy you guys, because I've never met someone that had a beautiful chocolate skin that had acne, or their teeth were not like really pretty. Like, because I had to deal with all of this in high school, and it was bad. Like, I wish my sister ain't had no acne. I'd be like, I'd be like mad, low key mad. Like, how I'm over here using Noxzema, all this other stuff, and then once a month, cycles I'm getting them here, and you just clear 365. Like, what is that about? Is that part of the gift that God gave y'all for having extra melanin? Because He could have made me a little more darker, okay? I would gladly accept it, okay? Not just for that, but just in general. Like, I love it. It's just, okay. Anyway, but then they cut to that. Then they cut to, I can't remember. What was the last match? Then LA Knight came out talking about him and AJ's situation. Someone said that they fought at the meet and greet. And then I just looked on X, and I was like, oh, they fought for real. Because I was like, AJ's nose is bleeding. And they was like, AJ pissed when he started cussing. He barely cussed. So he looked at LA. LA looked like he ain't mean to. Like, scary. And AJ said, I'm going to F you up. I said, ooh. So then, it was a lot. I think the last match was, I don't think, outside of the women having their little promo, I don't think there were no matches with women today. I'm trying to reevaluate my life. If there was, forgive me, charge it to my head and my heart. But then it was Jey and Solo, and I was like, I forgot, because remember, I was like, I wonder if they fight Monday or Friday, which I watched Raw, found out that Cody ended up fighting, no, Seth ended up fighting Solo on Monday. That ended to that was crazy. And then that Ricochet versus Ivar match I had to find online, like, was crazy. Crazy. Like, that was such a good. I'm so mad at Hulu. I don't know what to, like. So I don't have cable. I have all the streaming services. Okay. So Raw comes on Hulu the next day. But instead of it being okay, so with commercials, Raw's probably what? If you don't count the commercials, probably like 2 hours and 30 to 45 minutes. They only give WWE 2-hour limit, right? My hair is just so bad. Well, not even, because Raw's an hour and a half. So, was it an hour and a half? Yeah. So I saw all the confrontation situations. I saw Bronson versus Sammy, and then Chad looking on, and then Chad getting tossed out by Gunther, and then Gunther beating up Sammy. Okay, I saw that match. Okay, then I saw the match with the Kabuki Warriors and Dakota versus Shayna, Zoe, and Tegan, which I love Tegan's hair. I don't know if that's a wig or if she touches her roots up. But I love her hair. Like, Tegan's one of my favorite women on Raw. Okay. And then, which they could have just kept that match, to be honest with you. And it's not because of the situation was like that, but the other women's match that they didn't show that I found on YouTube was Indy and Candice versus Ivy and Maxine, and I'd much rather watch that one. Like, I became a fan of Maxine since the Alpha Academy, and I like Ivy, and the Creed brothers look like they could be part of an alliance with Alpha Academy, but I also wanted to see that match because I wanted to see how Candice and Indy are developing as Candice is turning heel. Because at one point in time, Candice Indy was upset, and then this time Candice tried to help her win, and she still lost. So that, and then it was another match. It was yeah, so they had Ivar versus Ricochet. I had to find that on YouTube. I can't remember. I feel like I'm missing another one. But I'm so tired. I don't. What was that? No. Okay, I'm probably getting weeks mixed up. But then it was the Jey and so no, that was last tonight. Then it was Seth and Solo, and then they're getting beat up and beat with the belt. So then it was after that the women cut promo. It was Solo versus Jey, yeah. And I was like, Jada probably brought his son. His little baby is his baby loves him down. You hear me? And loves wrestling. I don't know if it's a combination of he's still in that phase. His dad is a zero. He wants to spend as much time with his dad as he can, and he loves wrestling, or he only wants to come because he loves his dad. He doesn't care about wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Some kids are like that. That was me with my mom. It's 4 of us. I'm the oldest. Sometimes I just wanted to be with my mom without them. So I knew Saturday morning she would go after she clipped her coupons to the grocery stores. And then she might come back, bring our food in the house, come back and go spend time with her friends. But I would purposely get up early in the morning on Saturday to go to the store. Didn't really want to go grocery shopping, just wanted to be there. So I wondered if that was like that, because I was like, that poor baby watching his uncle beat up his daddy. Which didn't end well because his other uncle ended up coming out Then Seth and Cody came out, and then Cody took out the belt, and it's like that belt is magic. Cause I'm like, how was that on your back? Like even with The Rock that Monday, because I was like, I think he had an open vest on, so I didn't even see a belt. Excuse me. But yeah, so he pulled it out. He hit Jimmy with it once and Solo with it. They like, I said, yeah, that's them old school butt whoopings. So then they was gonna get him. Solo got the hell up out of there. Oh, I was talking about Solo's music too, because it was like, oh, they got my music. I said that bass line go hard. But then he looked like he's about to hit Jimmy again. He hit him with the crossroads. Jey did the flag. No, the frog splash. And then he hit Jimmy again, and he left. And I was like, oh, another thing. I was like, where did he get the black shirts with the red no? Is that new? And I still ain't been online to go look, because it's been Smackdown, and then it's been Hall of Fame after that. But I was like, when he come out with those? Because I would have much rather have black. Okay, I like the red because it's a pop of color. My mom be like, you know, people from our north, they say people from like New York and DC, they wear all black 365, which, yeah, I very much have a lot of black. My son does too. But with DC, that's what Wale stands for. We aren't like everyone. We're one or the other. We're either real bright, outrageous fashions, or it's black. There's no in between. There's no in between. If you see someone dressed and mediocre, like it's not a piece that they're wearing, which is art displayed. You know, fashions are displayed, or based on how you feel, or whatever. It's not a piece or something like that that ties it together, something like that, to make you go, oh, I wouldn't have put that with that, or those are cute with that. You know what I'm saying? Then they're probably not from DC. They probably moved here after like college or something. They're an expat. Okay. But yeah, because I was like, I could wear that shirt. I was like, let me go find. And I was like, matter of fact, since we doing that, does Jey have the blue t-shirts in children's sizes now? Because they only have them in adult sizes. And I got the white child one, but my son will probably rock the blue one better and more, because then he can wear it to like school and stuff. And if it gets dirty, because boys will be boys, it won't be as noticeable. But yeah, so then we cut to the Hall of Fame, and I was like, I'm gonna cry, which I almost did, but I didn't. Paul's Hall of Fame speech was everything. You hear me? First of all, this Hall of Fame, to me, in my opinion, was way better than last year's. I don't know if it's because of the speeches or what, but it was way better. Paul doing what he does, he still ended up doing what he does in his speech. But he said, I don't talk about myself. Like, I'm not the same person here as I am at home. So he mentioned Triple H a lot, and I was like, yes, he's a GOAT. Like, and that's why I keep mentioning, like, people need to hire people from the inside, because people hire people from the outside and pay them more to make the job look appealing. Okay, HR 101. But then you got to spend all this money and all these weeks training them, versus you just giving the person from the inside that does a great job the same raise you're going to give the person outside, and give them like 1 or 2 extra points, or whichever you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm so glad that they went with people that from the inside, with like Shawn Michaels. He put his whole squad on, and Road Dogg, and like Hurricane Helms and him and stuff like that, because you can say, hey, this might not work. So maybe you should try this. I'm going to take more heed to it, because I'm like, okay, he's a Hall of Famer. He's done this. Let's go with this. Or they might say, well, this is not a good idea because this, and it's going to cost this. And someone that worked in wrestling will be like, it's a wonderful idea. They actually wrestled. You don't know what the crowd is going to be like. You don't know what the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. So, and he sees that. He sees it from both angles. And you can tell he's a person that loves what he does, and also tries to look out for his people, because most people, the smart business people, know that you take care of your employees. Your employees are going to take care of you, and they're going to make sure that they do right by the company, and they won't ever leave. Like, what Edge call them, for lifers. He was like, acting was cool, whatever. It's a different, artistic outlet, but I'm wrestling for life until it's time for me to retire. Okay. So Paul did his thing, almost cheered up. Real long speech. So then after that, it was, after that, it was, I dozed off. And, because I only slept, like I said, for 4 hours, maybe for 2 weeks straight. And the working part and sleeping for 4 hours is, that's the easy part. The working for 4 hours, sleeping for 4 hours, and then working, and then coming home, taking care of the house by yourself, trying to make sure your child is all right. Like, that's the harder part. So I was exhausted. But yeah, okay. So back to Black Girl Magic. I forgot to mention that I will say, well, they look fantastic. Like I said, everybody looked great last night. I will say that everybody looked great. Naomi, I will say, her promos have gotten a little better, but I feel like she doesn't know how to cut it off, in the sense of, she's one of those people, like how everybody says everyone likes the Usos, everyone's cool with the Usos, everyone has like a handshake or has like some type of relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? Whether the person is left and become a major superstar like a John Cena, or if they're new, like they treat everyone the same. And I feel like from that aspect, Naomi's also like that. But because she's like that and she's so bubbly, that it's hard for her to cut that off and be like monotone. You ain't got to be like serve mean like that, but like to calm your voice down, like how Bianca or Jey does. And then like that, because you could hear the excitement still in her voice. Like, yeah, we're going to come. And I'm like, we love you, sis, but we don't believe what you're saying. Like, the only way we know what it is through like tweets and through like if tweets and through the matches. But if I was a person that wasn't on social media like that, then it would just be the matches. And then Jay's tagline is like, you're in the eye of the storm. And I was like, well, they might have to change their tagline, because the safest place to be when you're in the storm, if the storm is moving, say, 1 mile per hour, you know what I'm saying, gradually, the safest place to be is in the eye of the storm. So for her tagline to be like, you're in the eye of the storm, I'm like, that's not really a rough place to be at in a storm. Like, the safest places to be are in the eye or the tail of the storm, because the storm is past, and you're just catching the end of it. They should just say you're in the storm, or you're in the mix of the storm. That kind of threw me a little bit, because I was like, but I'm a nerd too, so I know all like random scientific facts. And then with my son and them learning about weather and rocks and all that, he's in 4th grade. So now I'm like, would help him and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. In the place I live, we get a lot of hurricanes. Well, she lives in Florida, so she should know that. But yeah. So then after Paul gave his speech, they kept showing. They had a glimpse of Brandy. they had a glimpse of who else they showed. And I was like, she's so pretty. They had Stephanie. Stephanie had an ECW shirt on. Hat on. Let me tell you something. To me, Stephanie's always been gorgeous. I don't know. Like, she is gorgeous. You hear me? Like, she is one of the people that I think, like, all the women are gorgeous. But there's certain women, to me, that are like, oh, like that. And they look good with or without makeup. They have, like, the prettiest smile. Like, she's one of those people for me. Another one was, like, speaking of looks, I'm going to get to speech later. So everyone looked great. Okay. To me, the women with the suits won. So Shayna won. That gold suit in her hair was everything. Natty won. Like the little tie with her hair. Okay. And she said she's Team Yeet and stuff. And she was talking about the 4 members of her family that are already in the Hall of Fame. And I was like, okay, I know her dad. Her uncles are. And I was like, who's the 4th member? Is it her grandfather? But I was like, Natty's been the longest reigning. She probably holds the Guinness Book record for that. The longest woman in WWE. I think she's been there since 2006. The year she decides to retire, okay, I think she's immediately going to go to the Hall of Fame the next year. Like, she helped break barriers. She was there before Evolution when women were still getting used then as like managers and escorting the men. Like, WWE for women has evolved at least, I want to say 4 or 5 times since she's been there. Like, she was at the tail end of the Trish Stratus and them with like Michelle McCool and all them. She was at the tail end of that. Then it came in with like Alicia Fox and the Bella Twins and stuff, and then migrated to like a couple years later with like the Funkadactyls and who else was with them? I can't even remember because half the girls don't even go there no more. And then like migrated a little further to like Eva Marie and Paige and all that, and then further to like the 4 horsewomen. Like, she's been through the journey, you hear me? And then with the knowledge that she has as being a legacy hire, I'm using Greek terms because when you cross it, like your parents used to be, say like if I was Delta Sigma Theta and my mom or my aunt was Delta Sigma, I would be a legacy. Like, she's like a legacy hire. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so she's like a legacy hire, and then to have the knowledge of her family and then the experience that she's went through, like, she should automatically be, if she ever decides to leave, like not wrestle anymore, be a legacy hire. I feel the same for Tamina. Tamina's another one I think that works backstage. Like, she doesn't wrestle anymore. She works backstage. But she has so much knowledge, and everyone says that, like, she's the head of the locker room. And I know it's a weird transition because you went from being the newbie, the babyface, to now being the legacy of the locker room. Or, you know, in the Black community, we'd be like, you're the auntie or the uncle. Now you're like auntie status. You're like, because now kids are coming in like 26, 25. You could be their mama or their aunt. Not old enough to be their mama, maybe, but you could be their aunt, like, and then impart the wisdom. You know what I'm saying? It was same for like New Day and like Randy Orton and then like the Usos and who else been there for a while? Like Seth and them, like, and Miz, like they would be the uncles of their locker room. Like, the experience and all of that. I feel like for her though, if she were to leave, she would have her dungeon thing like she has. But I feel like it would be hard for her to part from the road. So I see her being something backstage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she wanted to, if they gave her an opportunity, you could still come out maybe once a week instead of like 3 days or whatever, and just be backstage to help the women out, to make sure everything, because she's been there. And then when she gets tired of that, she could just help at the performance center, which I see her doing really well at. especially for the women that don't want to do like the high flying and stuff like that. She's a great technician and stuff. So, but she looked great. Maxine is one of those ones too that don't need too much. And I posted before where I was like, Tiffy didn't look right with all that makeup on. And I know it's glam. And the same for Maxine at the Hall of Fame. She's already pretty. Like, I feel like real glam like they did with the red lip and all that is for stuff like if you're going to be under lights on stage. Like Beyonce was like, she wears like kind of like drag glam so the cameras could catch her face and the people in the back can see real clear. But like, if you're already pretty, got good skin, so like you don't need all that. You just need a soft touch up, maybe a little foundation, maybe a little concealer, eyeshadow in the lip. Like, you don't need the contouring and all that like they did Maxine. She didn't need all that. She's pretty. And that's what I'm now notice about Tiff. Like, when they do her makeup, it's too much. Like, she doesn't need all of that. Because I've seen some of her posts where she does her own. And then I've seen her bare face. And I was like, okay. Like, makeup is supposed to enhance your beauty. It's not supposed to make you look like something else. You know what I'm saying? And to me, when I didn't know who she was until Kayla said her name. And I was like, oh. Also, I love the fact that for the Hall of Fame that people from every industry was there. Like, and I've said this, I said it wouldn't have been like that with someone else under, that used to be under, ahead of everything. It wasn't like that before. Like, I love the fact that, yeah, because last year it wasn't like that. Because I love the fact that people recognize that people who used to be in this industry might not be here no more, and they have spouses in this industry. Like, someone was like, you notice when he was talking to CM Punk, which looked great. I love the black, love the velvet thing. Corey looked great. Roman looked great in the gray. Jade, of course, shut it down. Rhea shut it down. I didn't even see Liv, but and then I thought Undertaker was bald. I'm gonna get to that later. But yeah, so when they was talking to CM Punk, they was like, Keith Lee had went past and came back. And people was like, y'all didn't peep that? So I had to go on X and was like, oh, he did. And honestly, when people was talking about Keith Lee was doing food reviews, that's who I thought of, who it was. I didn't know it was somebody else with a different name. And he's great, a great wrestler. I remember when Survivor Series used to have the NXT. My son and I watched those in the past 2 years. NXT versus Smackdown versus Raw. And he was like one of the finalists and was like one of the first ones there. And he was great. But people was like, why is he there? I'm like, he's married to Mi Chin. Like, and I was like, I was like, if you want to go by those standards in the old way, I said, RVD's not supposed to be there because I think he's signed with AEW. Bubba, even though he's a Hall of Famer, even though Bubba Ray Dudley is a Hall of Famer, he signed to TNA as Bully Ray. Like, he ain't supposed to be there technically. I'm like, it's a lot of people that's there. Like, Mickie James was there. She's from TNA, but her husband is Nick Aldis, her man. I don't know if they married. I'm going to say that. But it's like people from different, which I love. I love that part. Because I'm like, in the past, you were signed to WWE. That was it. Like, your spouse could have been signed and could have been at TNA now. And they would not let it happen. That's why I was so excited when Shayna got the fight at CW. I was like, oh, so now we're crossing over. So now that makes me wonder, is Dustin, aka Goldust, gonna be there? Because someone's like, we need your help. He's like, who says I'm not gonna be there? And I said, I will lose my freaking mind if he comes. Like, oh my God, like, are you kidding me? But I'm like, then I was like, but what's the trade-off? So if they're allowed to come here, which Tony gives them that's in their contract, they could go to different places. Do we have a stipulation where we can go there? Like AEW, something like that? Because Jordan has said something on her thing, which I follow her. Jordan has said, was like, it's time for a WWE TNA, like, crossover. And I was like, yeah. But, like, everyone looked great. But, like, those are the people that stuck out to me. Kofi looked great in the purple. I like the tie. So Paul did his thing. I was about to start crying because I was like, I remember watching ECW, and my mom, we couldn't watch it. I remember when it was ECW, it was WCW, it was WWE. I mentioned before I didn't really watch WCW. I remember when Hulk turned heel and had the beard, but I only watched it for Sting. Didn't really care for Goldberg. Then after that comment about Oscar, I really don't care for Goldberg. And then WWE, I was WWE down, okay? But ECW, I used to watch prior to on and off with my uncle who was 9 years older than me. And we were and my cousins who were 4 years older than me, and I was not allowed. It was too much for a little girl. So I couldn't watch it. But when I did watch it, I remember Paul. I remember him. So then after that, it was it Bull after that? So then they saw Alondra, and I forgot her name was Medusa, because he was like, I fought Medusa, and I was like, but I forgot. So when she came out, I was like, Alondra in the face looked like her and Charlotte could be, that could be her aunt. Like, to me, they favored. But she gave Bull her thing, and I was like, Bull is so small, and I was like, I wonder if she lost weight over the years, or if she always been that small, because sometimes videos and stuff, because they're up close, the person looks bigger than what they are, and plus the camera adds 10 pounds, which is true. Very true. Because I remember meeting Terrence J and Roxy from 106 Park, and they came to my college, and I saw her in person. I was like, she looked way bigger on TV. Not like big as in thicker, and she wasn't that big. But she looked great. Bull looked great. The makeup, she was still pretty. I'm glad she gave her speech. And then I didn't like the fact that the sound people tried to turn her up. And then they said, boo. And then during Smackdown too, it kept the camera kept going out for a second, 3 times, and then would come back. And I was like, what the hell going on? But anyways, so they tried to, and then they stopped. So I was like, sound engineer, stop messing with the sound. I was like, it's not the sound. It's not her. The reason I say it's the audience that are being rude. Y'all just need to tell them to shut the hell up. If they would shut up, we could hear her better. She's soft-spoken, and then her English isn't clear, even though we understand what she's saying. So it's going to make it hard to hear her. And then people are just being rude just because you don't know who she is. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as they showed the clips, first thing I saw is, okay, so that's what EO got that leg drop from. I know that leg drop. And I was like, that's what EO does right now. Okay. I love. So then they did the brothers. I meant the brother-in-laws. Okay. And I was like, I didn't know that's where he got his name from. Bray's real name. And then they did the thing. And him and his brother Taylor looked so much alike. The only thing is, Wyndham's face was a little fatter. A little more round. And Taylor's a little more slim, but they look just alike. Thankfully, his dad had the speech on his phone. Because I feel like when he mentioned his son, he would have started tearing, crying. But you could tell that he's of a certain age. Because when there's one time for Bray, and he asked Bray, how do we do this? Cut the flashlight on. I said, yeah. Because my mom, she don't want to admit that she don't know how to do some stuff, because she works with computers even now. She works from home, and she's always been tech savvy. But I'm like, Mom, it's okay. You're getting older. But certain stuff she doesn't know how to do. So that was interesting. And then I went to see when they did Muhammad Ali. So I went to the restroom and came back. And I was like, who is this lady? Didn't know that was his wife, okay? Did not know that until she said, this is my love, my life. I said, okay. Because I was like, I went to the bathroom and it came back, and she on the screen. They gave him the People's Champ from The Rock, the belt. It looked real good up close. I love the fact that with wrestling and with any type of sports or physical type of sport, boxing, UCF, MMA, whatever, if it's okay, it's not a copyright situation. Like, if you go and ask and they give you the okay, you could use it. Like, how Rock got the People's Champ from Muhammad Ali, how he got Jabroni from Iron Sheik, how he got Know Your Role from Farouk, like, and it was okay. It was the okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she did her speech and stuff like that. I wonder if they reached out to Layla and she said no, or she didn't answer. But if that lady was his wife before he passed, then it probably makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I think if I was married and I was in the Hall of Fame and I was no longer here, I would want my spouse to induct me because they know me better than my children. Like, your children know you to a degree. They know you based on what they see and what you tell them about your life before you had them. But your spouse knows you because before, all your children's parent, you know what I'm saying, baby mama, baby father, knows you because before you had them, they was with you. You know, so it's different. It's different. I'm trying to think. So then they did Thunderbolt, right? Yeah, they did Thunderbolt. And I love how we change the culture. You know, I'm always going to, I love different cultures, stuff like that. I love how when someone of color or a woman changes culture, like Bull is a woman of color, and is a woman of color, and then Muhammad Ali is a man of color, person of color, and then Thunderbolt is black. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like how we impact culture, and people don't think that we impacted that much, but we, especially with Thunderbolt. Like, first of all, when he did his promos, he sounded like a Baptist preacher, okay? But then I was like, why aren't they cut into his video yet? Because they did everybody's video before, and came out in a wheelchair. And then I said, okay, so they're using the time for the video to get him on the stage. Makes sense. But when they showed his promos and stuff, I said, now why he sound like, and then they said he did his match against like Dusty Rhodes, and then even Cody said he took a lot of stuff from Thunderbolt, and I said that makes sense because Dusty sound like Thunderbolt. Then he said when the New Day was like, we took It's a New Day from him, and Road Dogg, which is one of my favorites. I love him. And he was like, he said, I was taking stuff from him. I didn't even know I was taking from him. Like the dance and, oh, you didn't know, and all that other stuff. And then, who else? It was someone else that said that. And I was like, but the impact that Dusty has made on people, and he took a lot of stuff from Thunderbolt. I said, even like when Hulk Hogan was like Dusty, he wanted to sound like Dusty and look like, what's the name? I was like, the impact that he had just on one person, Dusty, and then that trickled down to like Hulk Hogan and trickled down to other people like the New Day and well, I said, and it's a whole bunch of people that's impacted and don't even know they're impacted by this one person. Like, that is serious influence. Even today, like, his influence, because of him, now people that's coming up that are fans of like Road Dogg, Hulk Hogan, Dusty Rhodes, the New Day, etc., don't even know that they're love these people partly because of the influence Thunderbolt has had. Just like with Muhammad Ali when he said he took he's the best, he's the greatest from gorgeous George and stuff like that. And then Thunderball gave his speech. He gave a whole sermon. I said the only thing he was missing was look at your neighbor. I was like, I said, y'all know he old. Okay, he's 82, I think. People that are older talk slower and they talk longer. So I was like, it should have been a time limit on these speeches, because even though it wasn't a lot of people, it seemed like it was longer than last year. So I was like, I'm going to get emotional probably at Paul Heyman and at Leah My Bed, because I watched Young Rock religiously. I've seen every episode. I was like confused. I didn't know he got, like, the show had got canceled, because I was trying to figure out what was going to happen after that, because I think one of the last episodes was like, and my cousin Joe, and y'all know him as, and it was like, acknowledge me, which I've seen. I was watching, when I started back, I was watching that when I started back watching WWE, and I was like, who is Joe? And then it said Roman. I was like, oh, okay. Like, okay. Yeah, so like to see her life portrayed on here, I was like, she seemed like a no-nonsense woman, in the sense of she don't play about her business, she don't play about her family. You know what I'm saying? Like, she loved her family down. You consider family, whether she adopted you as family or your blood, she don't play about you. Like, that's what and she's not playing about her business. Like, you're not about to sit here and overlook her because she's a woman. Like, that's what Leah gave me in the show. So I thought he was going to go into very great detail and stuff like that. But I guess because of the clips, and he's like, basically you can watch her on the show and the impact that she's had and stuff like that. Because at one point in time, his mom was there. So I was like, is he going to bring his mama on stage? But then I'm looking, it's 12:40 something, 1 o'clock. I'm like, people are tired. Like, some people had long days. I'm one of them. And I'm not even a WWE stuff. I'm just a spectator. I was like, these people had WWE World and all this other stuff, and they probably was out the night before, maybe at Wallet Mania and stuff like they are exhausted. Okay, I don't even know what time they had to be at Smackdown. What, 2, 3 o'clock? So if they went to WWE World before that, it was just crazy. Like, for me, if on WrestleMania weekend, if I had to do a meet and greet, I would ask to do Thursday or Monday. Like, for this year. No, honestly, I was gonna say Thursday or Monday this year, if I'm in both, gonna be on both days. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, Jimmy's wrestling Saturday, but we know he probably gonna be there Sunday. Like, let me do my meet and greet, and then I'm on SmackDown on Friday. Let me do a meet and greet Thursday or Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like, or do it the day I don't have a WrestleMania event. Do it that day. So, like, if I'm on a card Saturday and not on a card on Sunday, let me do my meet and greet on Sunday, if I'm gonna do it one of them 3 days. And then if I'm not on SmackDown, I could do it on Friday. You know what I'm saying? And then I still went off for Friday, even if I had to, because the fact that you gotta do the meet and greet, go there for SmackDown, not unless I could find somewhere in the locker room and lay down and go to sleep. I would go to sleep in a chair. Like, put my head down and say, I'll be knocked out. If you hear snoring, I'll be like, mind your business, okay? So, yeah, but so he was like, he did a little, situation. He acknowledged Cody, and then they showed Cody's face when he said something about Dusty, and I said, Cody looked like he might be about to tear up, or then they had the camera on him again. I was like, y'all be keeping the camera on people for too long. What had me cracking up, though, is when they first when Roman first came out and they did the one, and they showed Jey. So before, when they were just getting everything together, Jey's son was sitting on him, was sitting beside him. When they show Roman coming out, they show everybody doing the ones but Jey. And then every time they mention Roman Reigns, Paul mentioned it. Jimmy in the back like this. What caught me off guard though was Nia holding her ones out. And I said, girl, say not you acknowledging Roman. I said, if we gonna complete this faction, every faction so far has a woman in it. Go ahead and make yourself part of the bloodline. You already a heel. Like, go ahead. You putting up the ones, that's family. Go ahead and go over there. Like, I feel like since Nia's been back, Dom has not been, like, for the past year and a half, 2 years, like, to me, Dom was the number one heel in sports entertainment, not just WWE. Since Nia's been back, and I saw her when she fought Becky in Raleigh, I feel like she might be creeping up on his coattails, or she might be a little bit ahead of him. Soon as her music drops, she gets booed. She ain't even out of the gorilla yet. Like, most of the time when he comes out, they wait for him to come out and boo him. She gets booed as soon as like, to be a heel like that, go ahead and join the bloodline. They getting booed anyway. You might as well, okay? Like, and then they be like, oh, if a girl's talking trash, okay, I got something for that. You know what I'm saying? Hit them with and let her be bloodline situation like a Rhea or a Michin, where they're the females in their faction, but they still they do stuff with the group, but they also have their own matches against women. You know what I'm saying? Because Zelina doesn't have that. Like, Zelina does whatever is down with the group. So if a woman comes into it, like Electra Lopez, that's in Legado de Fantasma, then she does that, with them. But she mainly does stuff with her group, with LWO. Like, Michin will do stuff with with the OC. But if they need her, like last year she was in Survivor Series. If they need her, or if she's going to fight against someone like she did EO, she still does her women's single stuff. Just like Rhea. She does stuff with them, she tampers with the men, but she still has beef with women. Like, Nia could do that too. Okay? So then after he did that, he did his little, K5 or whatever. They showed him and Cody, and then they showed his mama, which I said they had to cut it short because it was probably late. I know he probably wanted her to come up there to give a speech about her mom. And then he was like, my mama is going to lay the Smackdown, something like that. And then everybody was laughing, and he walked out. And I was like, look, Rock probably was like, I done did WWE World, probably got a workout in, had to call and talk to my kids, talk to my business manager, woke up early, get ready for Smackdown in the back. You know what I'm saying? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I got to get up the next day to get ready for WrestleMania. Like, I'm trying to go to bed. Like, y'all could catch, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Because I was like, look, dog. Because if anything, I know Paul set it off. Like, he did great opening. But because Paul is that everyone knows right now, I feel like he should have closed it. And we should have opened with maybe tag team. Because I was going to say open with The Rock's grandma. But no, I think he should have went second to last. And then we should have started with Muhammad Ali and then ended with Paul. So I was like, I know I'm over. And I was like, yeah, because you've been up there for about 40 minutes, dog. Like, they done cut the 2 commercials on Peacock. But, yeah, so I'm about to go watch Stand and Deliver. And then I told my son, I was like, we just came back from the grocery store and stuff. So I'm about to go watch Stand and Deliver. And I'm about to, do stuff around the house, and then get ready for WrestleMania, all of that. Because I was like, we basically in the house today. Since now that we started watching NXT in October. So, oh my gosh. Y'all hold it down, okay? Especially the people that's there at Wrestlemania, that's going to all these different events, especially the people that are doing the media. Like, I know probably after stand and deliver, y'all gonna have to do press for that, and then hurry up and maybe eat, shower, or whatever, and then get to WrestleMania night 1. Like, it's a lot. So good luck to y'all. Keep y'all coffee and energy drinks or whatever y'all do handy, because y'all are trooping through. You hear me? Like, and then especially the people that do it full time, like that do this not full time, but part time, and then they have a regular job. So then when you leave, I hope y'all got Tuesday off. The ones that stand till Monday, or y'all got Wednesday off. Because then if you fly back Tuesday morning, you're probably gonna be jet lagged, and then from the whole week, you probably gonna sleep. If you got kids and a good family that's gonna let you sleep for a little bit longer, then Wednesday, you gotta get yourself reacclimated. Like, okay, good luck, okay? And I just can't wait for tonight. I can't wait to see Tony and Dragunov and Carmelo and Trick either. So I'm about to go watch Stand and Deliver. Anyways, love you all. Bye.